The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is nothing short of a masterpiece. All these years later, it's still a game that's very much talked about for many reasons, right? Um, it's consistently ranked among the best games of all time. And on many surveys and reviews and just articles, right, that have some prestige and that have some name to them, um, again, it's consistently ranked among the best. And even in many of those surveys, reviews, and just articles, it's consistently ranked at the very top in many, right? And again, it's for many reasons. All these years later, almost 26 years later, I believe it came out in 1998. It's still a game that I can personally go back to and play and enjoy, right? And I'm sure that's the case for many others out there. So I'm just going to be talking about my personal experience with this game and what makes it so special to me, right? So again, this is one of those games that doesn't get old. It's one of those games that I can go back to and play and have a great time regardless, right? Every time I play it, it seems like I pick up something new that I didn't pick up on, on my previous playthrough or on the previous time that I played it. It's something that just keeps on giving. So I actually got The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time as a trade-in. I traded it for Taken 1 for the PS1. And needless to say, it was a wise decision on my part. If you ever played Taken 1 on the PS1, I don't know about you, but it's a terrifying game. From the graphics to the sound effects, it's just it's a horrifying game, and especially if you're playing it as a 6-7-year-old. Man, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look up some of the footage of that game, and you'll see what I mean. To this day, it's kind of a creepy, weird game to me. So I traded it in for Ocarina of Time, and again, it was a good choice on my part. So instantly I was hooked, right? It was like the title of the video says, it was a game changer for me. I was instantly hooked. I hadn't come across a game like that, So everything from the storyline, from the music is something that just really, really sticks in my memory, and that really stands out to me from that game, right? Even all these years later, I can still remember the little songs, the little tunes of that game, and it's just a nice nostalgia trip, right, that I can take. It's the music is a beautiful thing. It's a piece of art. And again, whether it was the world, the storyline, that sense of leveling up and acquiring new items, the dungeons, the difficulty of the dungeons, just unlocking new mysteries and side quests, all these elements coming together just made the experience so memorable. And again, I really hadn't come across a game that mixed all those elements so beautifully. And again, I was just instantly hooked. I would play that game for, I was just, every time I had some free time left over, I would go to that game, and it was as if I was in that world, right? Unlocking new mysteries and just coming across new areas of the map that I hadn't explored before. I was so curious to find out what the next part of the story was. And, again, combine that with the side quests, with the memorable characters, with the element of just exploration, that you can just stay away from the main story and just kind of explore the land and the map on your own and just kind of do your thing. It was just, again, a game changer for me. Another thing that really stood out to me now that I'm older is the difficulty of the game. I don't know about you, but it seems like video games have gotten a lot easier and a lot, intuitive to accomplish. Maybe it was because I was young, and again, I didn't have much experience playing video games, but it definitely seems like the games back then had a level of difficulty that you don't really see nowadays. The dungeons, getting stuck in a dungeon and not knowing what to do, and really having to think about what your next plan of action was, right? And what strategy to put on paper, so to speak, to try to get over that obstacle in the game, right? And once you overcame that obstacle, there was this feeling of just relief and just great satisfaction knowing that you unlocked a new part of the game, right? And that all that effort paid off. So, so despite, it being quite an old game, again, I believe it was made in 1998, so it's almost 26 years that this game came out. Even though the graphics obviously aren't the best, this doesn't stop it from still being a game that's played to this day, right? Even though the graphics, again, weren't to the level, obviously, that they are now, the storyline, every other element of this game was just so high quality that, the graphics were the least of your worries, the least thing that you were thinking about, right, when it came to this game. I mean, at least personally. So every now and then you come across a game that, again, is a game changer. And this was it for me. This was the game that really, I guess, changed my perspective on video games. I didn't really know that games like this existed. And again, just the whole experience for me overall was a game changer. It left a mark on me, and it's something that, again, all these years later I can go back to and enjoy. All these years later I can still go back to that game and explore and have a great time and pick up new things that I hadn't seen before, right? So this game, in my opinion, was definitely ahead of its time. And it's just a masterpiece, right? Nothing short of a masterpiece. It's a work of art. It might sound a little silly to say, but it goes beyond just being a video game, right? It's a piece of art. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for listening. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I just make videos on topics that I find interesting, whether it be video games or self-improvement, or topics that aren't very mainstream or talked about, right? Topics that might get some people triggered, but if you're open-minded and you can handle information and that's not very mainstream and do your own research without coming to conclusions, before doing so, welcome to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one.